What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the nerd. Last time on the podcast a while ago, we talked about the writers going on strike. Mm-hmm. Then there, so we haven't talked since for about a month on this podcast yet. And now, within that month, there was rumblings.
Speaking of the writer's strike, I don't know if y'all heard, but it looks like The Rock. Did y'all see that about The Rock?
Man, this man is. I ain't gonna say what. His ego is out of control.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Before we just start throwing stuff in here, I want to get in the month that we was missing. We got now the actors. You know, the Screen Actors Guild has now gone on strike, joining the writers, and now it caused almost like a Hollywood shutdown. All movies that was in production already has stopped.
Movies, shows, and
all that stuff like that. We are now. I know people may be out there thinking, may not know how this stuff works. We're still getting content that has already been made and finished, that still have release dates, can still be released. Mm-hmm. But after that,
A24 projects too.
What'd you say?
I said A24 projects too.
Oh, okay. So
I'm not sure what that is. I'm sorry.
Oh, A24 is a company. Sorry, my bad.
No, I'm saying those can still be released, or those are been made.
They can still be made because it's like an independent company. It's not like a Disney or it's an independent film company.
Yeah, so a lot of things they was working on, like Deadpool 3, because it was all the set photos was coming out. We got to see Wolverine in the yellow and Wolverine and Deadpool, and I was like, oh snap, that looks cool. It looks like we're going to actually go back to like classic '90s X-Men with the Deadpool movie. Then it was just like strike. Hard stop. Deadpool pauses production, and I'm just like, damn. I was hoping it would be done by now. But certain movies, like what Prime was telling me, like Captain America, Brave New World, it's done already. Mm-hmm. So that's still going to most likely come out.
Well, I heard Deadpool wasn't affected. Is that
Deadpool? You know what? I saw that it was. I saw different.
Okay, I was about to say that was about to ask that change.
Deadpool wasn't affected by the writers' strike.
So I get what you're saying. It wasn't the writer's strike that broke that one. It's the actor.
Yeah.
Okay. So, there have been some demands that when it comes to this actor strike of what they're demanding also.
The nanny said she want her money.
What'd you say?
The nanny said she want her money.
The Dana.
The nanny.
Friend, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got pay that they're looking for, insurance and / benefits, the AI likeness, and residuals.
The AI likeness one is wild.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it.
That AI likeness thing is insane, yo. I'll be pissed too.
So, for those, I'm pretty sure Lady Sketch and Primetime would know more of these numbers what I'm about to read here. But both are fighting for increased MBAs, with SAG asking for 11% increase minimum in year one and 4% in each of the following years. The actors are also looking for increased residuals due to the general impact that streaming has on the often primary source of actors' incomes. So, to kind of like break this stuff, down, because then you got people that's on one side of the fence, on the other side of the fence. Bob comes out and said that what they're doing is kind of what's the word that he used?
Who said that?
Bob Iger. Yeah. Oh, he said that they weren't being realistic.
Sir, you got enough problems going on down there where you at. Hush up.
Okay, so before. That's why we here to talk about stuff like that. So I was just like trying to go through it now. What are some of the things that you guys said that Dwayne was doing now that happened?
Yeah, please tell me about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Say that one more time.
Okay,
we want to know what The Rock talking about.
Yeah, I'm about to say you and Q Flow just talking about Dwayne. I was
like, no, The Rock just because he been ego trip. This is the largest sum of money somebody has ever given.
Yeah, he donated like 7 million,
something like that,
to the cause.
And so what?
That's what I'm saying. Like
to the.
Wait, okay, so okay. I'm not saying
you literally not affected.
No, my fault. The Rock has donated a historic, quote unquote, 7-figure amount to the SAG after Foundation Relief Fund. The check will help thousands of actors keep food on their table, their kids safe, and cars run. Okay, I don't know why you added all the extras, but yeah, the Rock dropped the bag on people.
Okay, so quick sum up. Are we trying to say The Rock is trying to get fame off the misery of others right now? Because that's cool. That's not cool.
I'm just saying he's not affected by this at all. So, I guess he is trying to spread wealth. Being like, yeah, I'm gonna draw the biggest that's ever been dropped before. It's like, it's like,
So I'm just so. I mean, I don't really know how to take that. Yeah. I guess I'm just saying because it's like. By the way y'all react, it's like y'all make it seem like he did an asshole thing, but then there's part of me saying, was it really an asshole thing?
I don't think it was an asshole thing.
It's like when people record themselves doing good deeds. Kind of like, do you want to be known for the good deed or just do it? Like, do you want to document it just because you're being nice, or do you want to document it for the attention?
I was about to say that it can come. It may not have been unless it was like he posted that on his IG himself.
The Rock, like he good for doing that.
Yeah. Yes. That's why
I done came out and I done give him this house. She ain't asked for it. I done gave it. I'm like, Rock, come on now.
He does. But I can see it is just like what he said. When people record themselves giving food to the homeless and things like that, like, and actually record the person. Cause like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
It can come off as like performative philanthropy. Like, don't do that. But if it's a thing where it's like he did it and somebody was like, oh yeah, The Rock just dropped X, Y, and Z amount, I can't fault him for that. If he did it from a place of concern, I mean that's what's up because they can't work. So
and because I know when people hear actors and they feel like, well, what the hell Denzel Washington go on strike for? But see, it ain't
that's worried about.
Yeah, it's not Denzel, it's not Al Pacino, it's not DiCaprio, it's not Forrest Whitaker, it's not them. It's those, because even if you're just acting, even in a believe it or not, even in a Tubi movie, you still got to get a license to act.
This is true.
Okay, these are still actors that when you even get to small budget movies or that's extras, it's stuff that may not be a big budget blockbuster. Those actors still got to get paid, and believe it or not, just because they're in a movie does not mean they make the same kind of money that the big actors make.
And it may not even be a thing where there is the pay on set, because that might be, you can negotiate that, but the residuals and things have really taken a hit since streaming. The janitor, Mr. Johnson, that's his name.
Yes.
On Abbott Elementary, he was showing a check he got for 5 cents, which I have heard other actors.
It was 3.
What happened?
It was 3.
Yeah, it's usually 3 cents. It's usually 3 cents, and then they all like add up to like $27 or whatever.
Yeah, because Kamiko Glenn from Washington Black, she shared a video saying a check for $27.30 for residuals from the streaming.
Orange is the New Black. Yeah. So it's like, imagine they licensing off these properties to all these streaming services, and you're only getting $20. How does that doesn't help you? And then it's not like there's an unlimited amount of work in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a show right now and you living off your residual money,
and
you don't get any residual money, then what? And then you get assholes like the people who went and filmed Elvin at work. Because it's like, bro, my family got to eat regardless.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And I'm just like, although it worked out all right for him in the end, it's like, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
Right.
I think also people are very... What'd you say, Prime?
Even though I don't know why people thought that was Bill's responsibility to take care of this man, though.
Well, I really think people are truly ignorant of how Hollywood works. And I mean,
Bill, you're supposed to make sure that man get paid.
Yeah, because you know, it's like it's kind of, when we was watching Black Mirror, right? Now I don't know if you went back and saw this episode, but the Maisie Day episode, that's pertaining a lot to this, and how the
I thought you was gonna say the first one, because that's that AI likeness shit.
Well, yeah, we ain't get to AI likeness shit though.
Okay.
So here's some of these like to really go down and help people really understand. So, like this AI likeness thing.
That's crazy.
For what they're asking for is that they can take an actor's their likeness, record them once, and don't need that actor again, and they can use their likeness all within any kind of movie or extra that they need for a one-time payment.
Yeah,
that's
right
a
now it's the
extras.
extras.
You said right now?
I believe right now it's the extras.
It's the extra still. That's insane.
Yes, it is.
That's insane, but also the extras at the moment, like even though everything is shut down, if they wanted to do a movie and just have extras, they could do that.
But you know
like
what?
If they wanted to do like another 2012 movie, just have extras run it, they could do that.
But you know what? I remember, like, this is kind of related. I was watching an episode of Jeopardy when Simu Liu, Shang-Chi, when he was on there.
Yeah.
He did this early on in his career, and let's say it was a model for Oreos, something like that. To this day, there's still pictures and stuff of him in those products. And he was like, it's insane because now that my career has grown for what it was, I can still see these and I get nothing from it. Mm-hmm. And it's helped pushing that business, which is crazy.
Which is freakishly insane.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't... I know we as human beings want to make the world a much easier place for us, but I'm sorry, that whole AI thing with like AI writing and AI likeness and stuff like that, no, first of all, that creeps me out. And second of all, it's like, no, I don't think that's just the necessary way to go. You can pay these people. Hollywood makes enough money. These companies make enough money to pay these people. You don't pay extras Denzel money, obviously, but you got to pay them.
They don't make that much per day.
I mean, sometimes you get a sandwich and just to buy,
You say what?
Sometimes you get a sandwich and a goodbye.
Okay, like I said, I don't work in the business.
I still don't want my likeness being used wherever.
Yeah,
for that, you have to like. That one is like you have to sign off. So for them people that be signing up, it's like, oh, I'm a, they gonna pay me, and then they thinking they getting a good deal. No, when they not, they pay you this one time. Like, oh, we gonna pay you $1,000 right now, and then they pay them $1,000, and the person be like, all right, I got $1,000, but don't know that they signed over their likeness, and now you about to be in all these movies, but you're not about to be in no movie at all. So,
But see, my thing is, one, all that kind of stuff, we know is predatory. Because more than likely, if you somebody who is willing to be like, I just need this money now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and do this because they told me they're going to give me $1,000 right now. Not realizing that will make this company X amount of dollars in the future. Because it'll save them a bunch of money having to have a person. But it's... to me, my concern is more so that there will get loopholes. Loopholes will form, and they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, where it'll become more common practice. I do not want to be watching a movie or a show and there's an AI like somebody who don't have fingers, because I know y'all see them pictures. Everybody's been going and doing them AI pictures, and you look at their hand and like, ooh, that person has like a thumb and a middle finger, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't know. I don't think. I think folks get too hyped with new technology and new things, and then be like, "Oh, this is cool," and don't realize how quickly those things will evolve. Because remember when self-checkouts first appeared, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is convenient." But there were still 6 cashiers. I mean, not Walmart, but other places. Where
I feel you.
it's like there is still a few cashiers open, but we put one self-checkout here. So if you got a couple items, instead of button in front of the person in front of you, just go ahead and do it yourself. And now you go in the stores and there's 6 to 8 self-checkouts and one register. The market around the corner from us.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time there has been more than one register. If they could figure out a way to...
It's been 2. It's been one for the wine and one for the...
That's what I'm saying. If they, I feel like if they can figure out a way to sell the beer and wine without having someone card people, they'll just get rid of registers completely. I feel like that's where we're headed. And that's just the small end of it all. You got people doing not learning whole programming languages and all kind, writing papers and all that's good now. Until shit gets sentient, and everybody like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how we got here.
I think of it from the vibe of not only that, but just having your likeness just out there, just tied to something forever. I feel like in recent history, we've heard on more than one time, certain personalities' likeness is just out there forever. Whether they agree with that now or ever, it's never going away.
Yeah. And they can do whatever they want with it. Remember that? Wasn't it one of the news anchors here in the city who was like suing because they found her likeness on like some penis enlargement site or something crazy like that? And
right, because I was about to say, I know that happens in the adult entertainment industry. Yo, it's out there forever.
Oh, you talking about when they do the deep fakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
You screwed. That's it.
Is weird.
Deepfakes is definitely weird. And in fact, the thing that's more weird to me is when you can clearly tell it's not real, and then you have people who you thought were even mildly intelligent reposting them. And I was just like, ugh.
Now, I do know, like, I think around 2020, they had like a sign off to start doing like movies with like people that were deceased and had been deceased for a long time. Like James Dean was supposed to star in like 3 movies.
That's weird.
I'm glad that they gave it. I'm glad that they like didn't go through with it. But like, they was like, oh, his family signed off. I'm like, what family signed off and he died in like the 50s?
Bro, it got to be like his great granddaughter or something.
Great.
Yeah, because not for nothing. Like,
who's clicking over there? I'm sorry, cause I keep hearing this clicking.
Oh no, that ain't me. But not for nothing. Like, I don't want to see Stan Lee back making these cameos. You know what I mean? But like,
okay. Is it like, so when we got at the end of the Flash, is that like using the likeness of somebody that's not here anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But in Christopher Reeve's case,
Christopher Reeve. Sorry.
Well, they use
Adam
West and
George Reeves, and Nicolas Cage and all that. So yeah, they use a lot.
Wait,
but
why are you trying to work Nicolas Cage?
Yo,
no, that wasn't actually Nicolas Cage. No, I mean it wasn't, but like he wasn't like he didn't come into recording.
No, he did.
Yes, but it's weird to me because I'm like Christopher Reeves. I think he just like signed like a lifetime deal. You could just use me whenever you feel like it.
Well, he probably had one of them 360 deals from back in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Lady Sketch hit heavy on the point though. If you need the money, especially during that time, you'd have signed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also a possibility that you gotta have somebody to help look over that also.
But who do you have to do that?
But then again, they gonna look. They got Vince McMahon type of look. They gonna finesse you anyway, and then it's like you can't. It's like what's wrong, but you can't get mad because you signed a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now also with the streaming services have gotten crazy in popularity. Also, everybody has a streaming service now. I can understand when those residuals for like Netflix knows, Disney Plus knows that obviously it's okay for all of us to have Disney Plus on here. They know that they all want to promote their new stuff and the news that come out. They want you to watch that. But it's like, hey, like Kifo said the other day, I want to watch Recess. But let's go for live action. Let's say I want to watch Smart Guy, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now if we go see Smart Guy, there's, Jason Weaver and them don't get no residuals from that. From their...
they probably get them little baby checks.
But I don't even know they get that from streaming services, though.
You do, though. But it's...
not from streaming, from those type of shows.
Okay, well, not if it's original content, I guess you get the... But if it's
original or like those next day, like Abbott, the next day Hulu type of thing. Those
I'm saying, but them classic shows, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming that's something what Fran Drescher's upset about also. That, if you get to go watch you got a streaming service, you can have access to all this content, and then when you decide to play my content, and then I don't even get a cut from that because I'm still being used, those kind of visuals. How do y'all feel about that? Like, are they in the right thing to get paid more than that, or is it because of how the landscape has changed and syndication? Because back when we had to syndicate the television shows, you could do a television show and then they had to sell it off to another company, and then they play it and you get a residuals from that because they're playing your content from that television show. We don't really have a lot of that no more.
No.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like that that streaming residuals thing, like how do y'all feel about it? Do y'all agree with that, or do y'all feel as though that the rules have changed too much to the point where it's just like you really can't pay everybody like that through streaming service? I'm just asking. I was asking you.
Well, I'm gonna just say from my case, like personally, I have friends in the entertainment. Yeah. I'm gonna say, one of my friends, I'm not gonna name him because lawsuits, but one of my friends, right? They was on this show and have never gotten paid aside from that base pay. Never gotten paid for their 4 or 5 years of work outside of that show. Even though it's been replayed on TV and all that kind of stuff, never got paid except for that base pay that they got paid at the beginning, and that's it.
Who got my man Prime on an NDA?
But
Prime signing NDAs out here. I'm like, nobody else heard that? I'm sorry.
I'm in the conversation. I didn't even think about it, but you're right.
What was you saying, Lacey?
I'm just saying though. It was like, yeah.
I was just gonna say, pay the that's it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'll say really quick. Nick is probably one of the dirtiest companies. Disney is they be trying to be fair. Nick is probably the dirtiest ones because.
Oh yeah, we know that.
But okay, Dan Schneider.
I mean,
no.
No. Besides him, because I want you to understand where my mind went when you said Nick is one of the dirtiest, and I was about to be like, what did he do now?
No.
Gosh.
No, I just mean like
get the F about the
for all of their old shows pre-streaming. Just this is pre-streaming. This is how bad it is. They paid everybody their residuals except for the main stars. Meaning, if you was in one episode, you get residuals. If you was a side character, you get residuals. But if you the main character, you don't get residuals, which is kind of messed up.
Was that worked out in their contract, or they just been like?
That's in their contract. That's in all Nick contracts. Like, if you're a main character, you don't get residuals. You just get that base pay, and that's it.
That's wild.
Now,
crazy.
some people have gotten to renegotiate. Like Keenan and Kel, they got to renegotiate. But like, Drake and Josh didn't they didn't get no residuals.
I heard about that.
Like iCarly, whoever else, other shows, main characters.
Just came back too, didn't it?
Yeah, without Jeanette McCurdy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure she getting it now, whatever, or whatever. I don't know. Like, I know those main characters don't get it, but like the side characters and like everybody else gets for stuff for those main characters.
Okay, so let me allow me to say this. Let me play devil's advocate to that idea. Because
real quick. My fault. Quattro. Did that count for voice actors too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Voice actors are not on the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh, they're not on this one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, fair. Right. But
Very Quattro.
so I absolutely agree with that. But from the other side, from the business side, am I supposed to go back to, I don't know, and Smart Guy was used earlier. Am I supposed to go back to late 90s, early 2000s just because we now have a whole catalog where we can upload shows that we own that has been off air quite some time and just put them up there available in our catalog? And now that they're available for the catalog, I have to pay you? You got
well,
Yeah.
to your advocacy,
Mm-hmm.
they don't own them, and they it's kind of like it's out in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Smart Guy is over, it's out. It is owned by Disney, but it's like out in the universe. You have to buy the rights.
Okay.
So when you buy the rights, it's like, in my head, I'm like, well, we could take care of that. Like at least some of them.
This person should get their cut. If you buying the rights,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Okay.
Then
Because the Chappelle Show, I'm gonna use that example. Chappelle Show be on Comedy Central, it'd be on Netflix, it'd be on HBO Max, because all these people buy their rights and all their share. So that's the thing with Chappelle when he had this little thing. All these people buying the rights to my show, but I don't got money. Is what Dave Chappelle was trying to say. So whoever buys the rights, and I guess now Comedy Central owns it. Right. So Comedy Central finally gave him his cut. Finally gave him to pay like his cut, because before they were just buying his rights and selling it, and then they getting paid, but Chappelle wasn't getting nothing. So it's the same situation.
It's essentially like record labels owning your masters.
Yeah.
Because that's why when you go and you see stuff and it be like remastered. Yeah. Because folks went and was just like, I'm getting my cut on this song because I don't own the original masters. Yeah. You see folks stuff getting tossed around all the time. Those deals really do happen in the background where it's like Columbia owns this person's masters, but they sold it to this person, but the artist got nothing from that. Or the artist can't use their own songs without going through this company. So it's a big mess in the background. My thing is, if you using my talents to make money off my back, I want some money in my hand.
I agree. Now, but to understand what Carlos said, I understand the point. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to talk about it so we can all have different opinions here. How do we go about, because that's a shit ton of content all these streaming services have. A shit ton of content. So if there's a trigger that anyone is being watched, and then say, okay, we got to pay, we got to pay that, especially on the replay value. Is that possible? I'm just asking.
That's a fair question. Is it doable?
Is that really even doable?
I would say yes, because
I think it is. There are ways to keep track of this, especially now with all the technology we have now. We're talking about them using people's entire likeness to be in a movie forever and ever and ever. You think they can't keep track of the fact that 26 people watched Smart Guy today? No,
I think what they're asking is it able to track who's been in the episodes? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm just saying. Okay, so it's like if like say we use a Smart Guy here. If we use Smart Guy, like Smart Guy's on Disney Plus, and it's like, okay, we now know that somebody's binge watching Smart Guy. Fine, that's cool. But then you can have like 13,000 other families of people that's doing the same thing, and it's like, okay, so for how streaming works, I just want to know: is it possible that everybody can get a cut for what they're owed with the layout of how streaming works compared to how syndication used to work?
I mean,
I'll also like to piggyback on something there. So, are we going back? And if we do that, are we going back and are we only cutting deals with that actor or actress? Let's say they've passed on. Do I have to reach out to the family, the immediate family?
It's like
their estate.
You know how like on Netflix when it says the top 10 Netflix shows?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they can tell like numbers of that case. But as far as paying them, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a Dropbox. So it's like, you click on that show, every actor in that show, their name is like, you just click the show and it will trigger anybody that's in that episode or on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So kind of like Amazon Prime, when I push pause, it gives me all that to that scene.
In there.
Yeah, okay.
But I
so it's like guest appearances and all that. They like everybody who's credited for this episode or this series or whatever. As soon as you click, like, it's like as soon as you, I'm talking about as a studio, like you click on it or you like go to it or whatever. All the information is there.
See, that's one thing I'm afraid of, because out of everything we're saying, I agree, and I agree with this too. I just don't see them trying to budge on, or at least on their residual streaming service part.
But it's not. But my thing is this: it's not even just the streaming services.
Yeah.
There are people who were on the shows that were in syndication that just did not get their residuals, or they'll get a residual check after 5 years that's X amount, and was just like, I didn't even realize that this was back in syndication, but y'all weren't paying me.
Okay.
It's not just my thing is y'all not paying these people their money. Like, we talking about, since y'all was using Smart Guy as an example, Smart Guy used to run in reruns all the time.
Yeah.
Who knows if they were getting paid off of that properly?
Fair, you're right.
According to what Prime just said, if he has friends in the industry who did work on maybe a Nickelodeon show and they just paid them for their time on the show and not when they reran all of these, because streaming is still fairly new. A lot of these shows are on TV being run over and over and over again.
A lot of these shows don't have streaming contracts with the artist, just with the whoever bought it.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like things need to be reworked. As things evolve, they need to be reworked. Just like with the law, when people started doing stuff on the internet, it was the Wild Wild West, because they're like, we don't have any laws to prosecute this.
Yeah.
But now you have things in place so that if you cyberbully someone and they kill themselves, you go into jail.
Gotcha.
So as things grow and evolve, you got to catch up with it.
That is a fair point. You do got to change with the times. I do agree with that point. So you're absolutely right about that. Okay, so hey, I'm really hoping that they can, because people sit here that I keep hearing stories every day of these writers, and they have to go just get jobs just to maintain.
Yeah, residuals nowadays don't. You can't really live off of residuals because they're so small. Yeah. That's what they. That's one of the reasons why they're striking, because they just, we want to be able to at least live off our work, or get us to the next project or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
especially with the writers. The writers, I completely understood. Like, I mean, I understand why the actors are striking too, but I completely understood why the writers are striking. If I got to work 3 and 4 shows just to make enough money to live, especially in expensive ass Los Angeles, then pay me.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, I hope they do something to work that soon. But I know them suits is not going to budge. I'm hoping that they do, because it's like usually when people go on protest, they got to feel it. And right now, they still got a lot of content down the pipeline that's still going to come out. But it's when you bleed that barrel dry, that's when you really feel it.
They were hoping to hold out till the writers ran out of money and went back to work, like, because they had to. Yeah. But now that the actors are striking too, I mean, I think it works out really in everybody's favor. Yeah. Because now nobody can do anything. So you can't just wait till the writers say, "Oh, we broke. We got to come back to work now." Yeah. Anybody back to work anyway.
I don't know if y'all looked this up, so I got like a small little trivia.
Okay.
Last time the writers and the actors striked. Can y'all guess who was the president of the actors?
Who was the president?
Of the actors.
I'm saying, who was the president of the actors?
He's saying yes.
I'm gonna just shoot far back. John Wayne or something.
I'm about to say the same thing.
President.
Okay. Okay. We're in the '60s now. I'm
the president.
Serious.
When you talk of the United States or the company,
you're not saying. Are you saying president of the?
President of the actors.
Oh, president of the. Okay.
President.
Okay,
you kept hammering on president, so I'm thinking like, are you about to say Trump or Reagan?
No, I'm about to say
Reagan.
It was Reagan because Reagan was a B actor.
That's right.
Reagan
was an actor.
Little trivia.
Well, let me just raise this question: do you think they could wait him out?
I don't know.
They have enough projects. Like if they wanted to, they have enough projects to do it.
Right, because even on the other side, you're an actor, so your job is to act. You live a certain level of a lifestyle that you have established. How long can you go without working before you just got to eat your pride?
No.
But see, it's not them that they were. It's not the people who live that certain lifestyle. It's the journeyman. It's the
That's the Dennis Schroeder's.
What happened?
The Dennis Schroeder.
I said it's the Dennis Schroeder's.
Cue the scenes.
Oh.
I know who Dennis Schroeder is. Shut up.
I was waiting. I was like, I ain't said that. Wait for the anger.
Oh man. But see, it's crazy though, cause like we ain't about to have no like Family Guy's done, and I'm like, dude, that show's been. Jesus Christ, that show's been going on for a minute. So like,
right.
Once I found out Seth MacFarlane's done, I'm like, damn, man, this is getting real.
Hold on real quick. What did you say in these guys?
I didn't say anything. Why you stop?
I thought you just stopped in mid sentence. That's why I thought you were about to say something, and I don't want you to forget.
It's fine.
Please don't whisper. I got to try to hear you in the microphone. No, I thought Lady Sketch was saying something, and she kind of like got like stopped. And I thought I didn't mean. I kind of messed up.
My bad.
No, but also picking off what Lady Sketch said. How long can that journeyman go, or woman, or person, go without having that check?
What, Quattro? To go with your point, you're speaking like a suit. That's how they think. That's not how people.
You're right. You're right.
I'm saying that's not how the revolution thinks. Because
I think
because even with you, I didn't mean to cut you off, Prime. Even when we kind of clown Dwayne here, I actually put the article reading it. When you have people, because all it takes is the first person to make the step. When you're gonna have people say, "Hey, we're gonna support," as long as the reason why a lot of movements and boycotts and strikes last as long as they did was support. Yeah. Say when you get support from the people, and when somebody's like, "Okay, we're going to continue to support and do what we can to come help this thing out," you can wait out things a very, very long time, opposed to just when people think like it's all about the money. That's how they think, not how the revolution thinks. I'm saying because it's like if it's like, okay, for all of us here on this podcast right now, if you have a problem, if you're being mistreated or YouTube is mistreating us, and it's like, okay, well, you know what? We not gonna put no videos up there until things change. I'm just going hyperbole, right? And it's just like, okay, well, they gonna miss out because they ain't making no content. But if you have support from other content creators, big or small, they're like, yo, man, we don't give a fuck about what YouTube's doing right now. We're gonna support each other. And hell, we may even go over to another platform temporarily to help support each other. That is where that comes out. The waiting game plays by them because they feel as though it's a black and white thing. It's never a black and white thing. There's gray areas everywhere. They can't see gray. So when you ask those questions, that's all come from the mind of the ignorant of what they think about. It's like those. We may say those are logical questions. Yeah, logical questions to somebody who don't have to experience this. I'm saying they're gonna find a way. So if if Dwayne's going to do $7 million, right? And I understand what y'all saying. Like, you shouldn't want to be in the limelight to do it. You should want to do it. Coming from the person Dwayne Johnson is, despite how he killed DC, Dwayne Johnson.
This is Dwayne Johnson on the swing, on the comeback.
Yeah, I'm saying
he's trying.
But I'm just saying, but this is also Dwayne Johnson has always shown consistently of how much caring person he is.
This is redemption arc.
Yeah, but now even with that being said, when somebody sees Dwayne, one of the biggest, if not the biggest star in Hollywood at the moment, that will also get other actors on board to help donate. It's the same thing Spike Lee did with Malcolm X. When Warner Bros. wanted to give him the budget, and he was like, "All right, I'm going to call Magic, so he can give me some money." Then I called Jordan and say, "Hey, Magic give me this much." And no one like, "Oh, he did what?" Jordan does it. Janet does it. Prince does it. Then everybody starts doing it. And I said, "Yeah, there's a little ego in there, sure, but we're still supporting in a way, to help our cause." So I do think that, for us it's going to suck because of content, okay? But we still go out and work our everyday lives and stuff like that. These people ain't working, so I'm all in support for them to be able to get that, and more actors can come out and give money. You got a lot of actors out here who still got a shit ton of money that they can go and share too. We say, Brian?
I'm just saying there's a lot of donations and stuff, like partner with SAG to like help them out with groceries and whatever the case is.
Exactly, because you got a lot of high paying actors who's like, "Hey, this really don't fit because I got so much shit in the bank." But I'm just saying, but you know what? We can, still donate to help out the ones that don't have that money in the bank.
Yeah. And they get a write off.
How you do it? That's how you do it.